know you're really here for at least 3 things that have nothing to do with me. And you'll get to them, and we'll get to find out which of the nearly 140 finalists are the 10 Dean's List winners this year. But, as you know, with every privilege, there's an obligation. And as you all know, sadly, I didn't start the Dean's List 22 years ago. We've had 22 years, literally millions now, of people pass through first. And the companies stay with us forever. The mentors, they stay with us. The kids graduate, the mentors stay. The teachers stay. The mentors retire from their great tech companies. They still stay. But we've had a really hard time creating the network that keeps us collecting all the fantastic people that have come through first. And by the way, it's not just going to benefit first and all the rest of the people coming through first that you stay involved. That network will be valuable through your whole life. When you graduate from WPI, or when you graduate from Yale, or when you graduate from MIT, trust me, there's a bond there. You go into the world and you're alums. There's a reason that people stay attached to their universities, and there's a reason that those universities stay attached to their graduates. And shame on me, we didn't start early enough to figure out how to keep track of kids. And it's harder, because you're all at the age where just when we find out who you are, you go off, you leave home, you go to college, you leave college. So make no mistake, we started the Dean's List program for a single purpose. You are the army of people that have been selected from every regional, from every team, because they believe you are the ones that can help us build the biggest, most well-coordinated network of alums the world's ever seen. And you're still allowed to say, yeah, I also went to Yale. Yeah, I did graduate from WPI or MIT. But I was a first student. And your alumni then isn't as big as any 1 or 2 or 3 great universities, like we happen to have 3 of them here. But if you get down to Scholarship Row downstairs, we've got 151 of them. And if you go around the country, let's be the superset. Let's be the most effective alum organization this country and this world's ever seen. That's what we're asking you to do. So, I first have to say, well, actually, the kindler, gentler dean, I wouldn't expect you to do that alone. I did mention to you this morning that we made a special new award that we'll give annually to add to all the technology companies, the world-class companies we have here. I really did stupidly believe 22 years ago, I will build it, and they will come. And we had 23 teams 22 years ago. Now we have 29,000 teams in 69 countries. Well, but here's the startling problem, and it's startling. If I asked all the fans, not the participants, not the people on the teams, if I asked all the fans of First in this room, but if you're on a team, you can't raise your hand, it'd be quiet. If I went out to the stadium when it's full and said, who is here that's not on a team, it would be quiet. Every other sport, there's 5 basketball players or 11 football players, and then 60,000 people in the stands, and then television. So while it's great that we got to 29,000 the hard way, one school at a time, because this program is so good, we never figured out, ironically, how to leverage technology, media, television, to captivate the whole world. We are still the best kept secret in the world. We have the greatest sport in the world. We have the future of innovation in the world. And we're as secret as some secret society. So, as I said this morning, from now on, each year, We're going to make it louder. And as I said this morning, when I first met Will.i.am, and I asked him to come, he showed up for the kickoff a couple of years ago. And after he met all the people I could introduce him to, I said, "So Will, you see, I wasn't lying. Have you ever seen such passionate kids and mentors and world-class sponsors? Now, can you help make it cool?" And he looked right at me, and he said, "Dean, I can't make first cool." And I thought, oh my God, he's another one of those guys that thinks. He said, "Dean, I can't make first cool. You've already done that, but I can make it loud." And we said, and as you know, he did. He came. He did a halftime show. He did his television show. He did what he said. He's getting started. But I said, starting this year, that's why he's got our new annual award, the Will.i.am Make It Loud Award. And he's here, and I think you've been a little loud. You've shown him that you get it and you care. So I am depending on Will, and you'll hear from him in a few minutes. I'm depending on him to make sure the whole music community and the arts and entertainment community knows about us. Because I still believe, as I believed day one, I will build it and they will come. But I forgot, you're supposed to invite them. I didn't do that part. I don't do that stuff. But even Will, I don't think we can burden him with that job. So I have another really special guest you're also going to hear from. The largest sponsor of sporting events this planet has ever seen. The largest sponsor of the International Olympics. The largest sponsor of the World Cup. The largest sponsor, when you think of a sponsor, when you look at a scoreboard, there's one company, Coca-Cola. So not that I'd ever want to put anybody on a spot, but wouldn't it be neat if, for instance, some Friday morning in St. Louis, Missouri, the chairman of the board and the CEO of the Coca-Cola company decided, maybe I could help get the word out that this really is not a science fair. This is a sport for the 21st century. This is a sport that matters. So, I'm going to do one thing that I really enjoyed doing. I'm going to tell you that you nearly had my mother in chronic tears again for the last month, because every single one of the finalists, every one of you that became a finalist, she said, "This one has to win. This one has to win." I said, "Mother, you're not allowed to do that." And we sent the same box of every one of your incredible submissions to Deborah Kane, Will.i.am's mom. And between the two moms, and Cece, and Vince, we picked But before we hear the 10, I figured you might want to hear just what universities think of kids that make it through first, and kids that have been determined to be Dean's List kids from first. So does somebody want to come up here and start it out? Oh, you'll all come up. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I promise to be brief. My name is Ayaska Fernando, and the easiest way to remember it is to say I ask her. And if you say I ask her fast, that's the perfect way to pronounce my name. I graduated from Yale in 2008, and I was a mechanical engineering major. And for the past 5 years, I've been working at the admissions office at Yale, now directing the science and engineering recruitment side of things. Now here's the fun part. If you're a serious scientist or an engineer and you apply to Yale University, take a good look at me because I will be reading your application. Okay. So when I open up an application and that student has done first, when the student has progressed to the Dean's List level or being a Dean's List finalist, it gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling when I read that application. So congratulations for doing it. Don't give up on science and engineering. I do encourage you guys to come visit campus as well if you can. We've got the brand new Center for Engineering Innovation and Design that Vince, who's the Deputy Dean of Engineering at Yale, has been a huge part of designing. So come check out campus, come down to Scholarship Row, meet us. But congratulations to all of you finalists here. And I want to tell you that we take you doing first very seriously in our admissions processes, and we look at it in a very warm and fuzzy way, and we want you to continue wherever you go to college. Could be Yale, could be WPI, could be MIT, to continue to persist in STEM fields and go on to get PhDs as well. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karen Gowdy, and I'm here representing the admissions office at Worcester Polytechnic Institute. On behalf of the admissions office, I want to congratulate all of the finalists who are here today. Your achievements are truly impressive, and regardless of the outcome of today's ceremonies, I want you to know that you have our deepest respect for the achievements that have brought you here today. Your ability to collaborate and to creative problem solve, often on the fly, are the kinds of skills and abilities that have made you leaders on your first teams and are the kinds of skills and abilities that we seek to bring to our campus community. In fact, WPI consistently enrolls more than 10% of our freshman class as first participants. We've been fortunate enough to enroll several Dean's List winners over the past few years as well, something that we hope to continue, and we look forward to inviting all of the Dean's List winners from today to come to WPI to spend a couple of weeks in the summertime as part of our Frontiers program free of charge. But again, regardless of the outcome, you are the kinds of students we want to see on our campus. I hope to see you in the year ahead as visitors, as applicants, as admitted students, and as enrolling students in the fall. Congratulations to you all.
So my name is Stu Schmill, and I'm the Dean of Admissions at MIT. But more important, I am the coach of my 5th grade daughter's FLL team. I thought that might get a louder cheer. So hold on just a moment here, because I'm going into recruitment mode, if you hold on for a moment. Earlier this morning, I heard Will.i.am say that you are going back to school for computer science. So I hope... So I hope before you settle on where you're going to be doing that, we're going to have a little conversation. All right. So these 3 days are a lot of fun, is that right? But now, why is it only 3 days? Wouldn't it be better if this were 2 weeks? Or 4 weeks? Or 4 years? Because on our campuses, and I know certainly at MIT, the ethic and the values of FIRST are in full force. And it's what I love about being at MIT. And having gone to school there, I can say that it is 4 years worth of this kind of fun, excitement, the chance to just build stuff with other people and have fun at it. And so that's why at MIT as well, more than 10% of our student body are first alums. Because the same things that you've been learning here will carry you far on our campuses, but in life. And it really is true what the world needs. So I'm going to salute you now and applaud you for everything that you do. And now I'm going to ask my colleagues to come up, because you will notice that the three of us are wearing our school things here, whatever they are, clothing. But wait a minute, don't be fooled, because, ready? Here we go. Woo! Because we realize that what happens here at First is bigger than any of our institutions, because this is right for the world. So again, congratulations to all of you.
By the way, there really are the other 148 universities downstairs, and they are desperate to get a hold of the best potential students in the world. And I also need to clarify, we don't give special treatment here other than they've been with us forever. In the very, very first year, we had one university with a team, WPI. I had a little leverage there. I spent the best 5 years of my life as a freshman at that place. I didn't get a lot of coursework done, but I had a great education. And my brother was a doctor and a professor at the medical school for many years at Yale. And I've worked from time to time giving lectures and playing with everybody at MIT. So I can tell you, this is a pretty good cross-section of the places that you can get a okay education around the country. It isn't just the universities that are interested in this very unique set of achievers. I'd encourage all of you, and you'll hear more from Blair in a few minutes, about a lot of our sponsors. But since there's just a couple of special sponsors, one of them, by the way, comes across as a great marketing guy of super technology, but don't let him deceive you. He was a real card-carrying nerd, an engineer. He worked on very sophisticated systems at places like NASA in his early career. But I figured, along with all the other stuff you're going to get, since you really are a bunch of nerds, you probably want a hardbound copy of maybe a Latin dictionary or something. But I thought maybe the coolest new NDA headphones from really, like, we all know Monster. We have sitting right behind here the head monster, Noah Lee, who is giving to every student that's on the finalist list. Everyone gets a complete custom-made set of his new Monster DNA headsets. Noel has been a fantastic supporter, and as you know, my planning and management skills aren't great. And I suddenly realized, as I usually do, I haven't talked to Noel recently, and we can't let the kids down because it's the coolest thing in the goodie bag. And I called him on relatively short notice, unless you've got a world-class manufacturing operation. And I said, Noel, we need the headsets again this year. Okay. Well, we've got more regionals this year. We had 60 some odd cities holding regionals around the country and around the world, so I need like 130. Okay. They got to be customized in your latest. Okay. And it would be great if you could show up. And he said, well, Dean, that day I'm going to be in Switzerland. Again, it's not my problem that these guys are. But he flew all night, and he got here late last night. Thank you. Thank you. And Noel and some of his team are going to be around to make sure that all of the Dean's List students get these. And as you walk around this place, I hope you point out to everybody what the real job is of all of you.
Hey kids, I think we gotta recognize the genius that we have up here with Dean Kamen, the wonderful invention that he's made, including the Segway, which has changed my life. How about everybody give a round of applause for Mr. Dean Kamen?
So now there's only two people you're going to hear from before you hear from our two judges. As I said, we have a really special guest here, the chairman of Coca-Cola. And I know it would be easy to think, well, Coke, that's not high-tech stuff. Coke? What can they do with the technical community? So I don't want to embarrass Mr. Kent, but I have to tell you, what can they do for the technical community? How about this? As a lot of you know, I've been working most of my life on my medical products. Something like 80% of the world's peritoneal dialysis patients use our equipment. For a while, 100% of the diabetic community was wearing our insulin pumps because we were the only one that made them. Well, I know a lot of people in the medical industry. I've been in it for a long, long time. Some of the leaders of some of those great companies are on our board. And they support great teams here. But when I started working on my system to make water for the world, small boxes smaller than this, that could purify anything, it was pretty sophisticated technology. And I went, as I always do, since I don't have marketing, sales, distribution. Remember, I'm the guy that forgets to invite them. So I went to all those companies that I know well, and I said, let's get these things out around the world. And every one of those major medical companies said, Dean, we love this project. We think you're right. It is 50% of all disease. But Dean, you come to us because you don't have any marketing, and we're gigantic. We're in 40 countries, or 50 countries, or 60 countries. Most of the people in this room can't name 60 countries. And they're in every country in Europe, and in Japan, and in China, and in India, and in America, and Mexico. But they said, Dean, where you want to put these machines where 2 billion people need water, they're in the other 140 countries. There are 206 countries in this world. And not even my big partners could credibly, efficiently, effectively get us there. And I started to think, after the years I've working on my projects, it would turn out to be the world's coolest science fair project, the world's most efficient vapor compression distiller. I had the good luck, for other reasons, to meet with the Coca-Cola company. Let me give you an idea. If you count Coca-Cola and all of its bottling company partners, how many countries does Coca-Cola have, not just sales, but bottling company partners in? 206. They have a few 100,000 employees in the developing world, where most of the companies you know have nobody. And if you can go to just about any village in the world and buy anything, it's probably a Coca-Cola. And so I said to the Coca-Cola company, maybe we can work together. Maybe if I get this technology reliable and simple and a little lighter, maybe you can help us. And they said, let's try. And a little, 2 years ago, they said, we'll try. And we built them 15 machines, bigger than this. They were prototypes. And under their direction, those machines went to Ghana in Africa. And between November and March of last year, in 5 different schools in Ghana, those machines produced 140,000 liters of pure, clean water out of junk. And so, fortunately, Coca-Cola is not just the largest global footprint the world has ever put together. They're not just the largest, most efficient logistics organization. They happen to have this visionary leader. And after he saw those results, he said, all right, Dean, now here's some resources. Build that machine smaller and lighter. And we did. And we're about to start the next stage of trials. But here we're going into at least 5 countries soon. We've already got our own teams and their teams in Paraguay, in Mexico, in South Africa. And if things go well, this machine could, like what the cell phone did to communications, we could do to global health with a partner that gets it. But as you all know, I'm still never satisfied. And I'm thinking, remember what I said a little while ago? They're the largest sponsor in the world of sporting events. What if we could get Muhtar Kent to come and see the passion and the excitement of this sport? Maybe with a little help, Muhtar and Will make the invitations I forgot to do to the rest of the world. So I'm going to start now by showing you a little 2-minute video that the Coca-Cola organization put together to show their own stockholders and their board of directors a couple of days ago at their annual meeting. So you'll see what they're doing with us. And if you have any doubt that what little technology can do, what a little slingshot can do when it gets the support of a world-class organization, look at this video, and then I have the privilege of introducing to you the chairman and CEO of Coca-Cola. So can we have the video? Just before I introduce him, to continue the trend that world-class people that matter are always really busy. Noel flew over from Switzerland. I told you this morning that Will.i.am just announced his new album. He was on one show yesterday. Ellen, he's got to go back to LA again this afternoon for Katie Couric. He flew all night to get here. Well, believe it or not, when you ask the CEO of the largest distribution system on this planet, why didn't you just show up in St. Louis? Typically, he's got other plans. His plans for today was he's supposed to be now in the White House with President Obama. I told him, well, be reasonable. It's one president. I got thousands of kids that need you. So I wasn't there for the whole conversation, but the president will wait a little while. That's okay. But literally, after making that small adjustment in his schedule, not only did Muhtar come, but his wife, Daphne, who's really cool, is here somewhere. So let's give a great welcome to Muhtar Kent from Coca-Cola.
Thank you. I am delighted to be here and not in Washington, D.C. As is my wife, Daphne, and who I'm accompanied here with. And I was here 2 years ago, and I got the bug. The great, wonderful to see the inspiration here of what is going on. And let me again echo what Noel said. I compliment, congratulate my friend Dean Kamen. Both Will.i.am and Dean are great friends. I'm proud to call them friends. I had my annual general meeting where hundreds of people, thousands of people show up 2 days ago in Atlanta, and I invited Dean to come and have a conversation with me on stage. And I introduced him to my shareholders as an inventor in the same class as Edison or the Wright brothers. And I think that's not even doing justice to this man. And last year, I had Will.i.am on the same stage at my annual general meeting. And he talked about the project, the partnership that we have, which is called EcoCycle. And that's a word that he came up with. And it is, if you think about it, it's the reverse of Coke, eco, cycle, and it's about collecting bottles of Coca-Cola all around the world and making interesting things with those bottles, like great clothes or chairs or tables or great things that people want. So we have a great partnership that's just starting with Will.i.am. And we're very proud to, as Dean said, we are very proud to sponsor sports all around the world. And this is, I think, the Olympics of robotics. And we're so proud to be associated with that. As we are proud to be associated with the Olympics since 1928, as the greatest partner for the Olympic Games since 1928, the Amsterdam Games, or associated with the FIFA World Cup since 1952, the oldest partner of FIFA. And it's because people, where there is sport, there's people. And where there's people, there's relationships that form, and there's moments of optimism that are created. And this is what happens when you come together here. Relationships get built. 69 countries, you all go back with the most incredible memories that you have here in St. Louis of meeting other people. And at the end of the day, just like in the Olympics, there's one gold medalist, there's one silver or one bronze, but actually, you know what happens? What happens is that every Olympian is a winner, just like everybody in this room is a winner. So I congratulate all of you, compliment all of you from the bottom of my heart. It's wonderful to be associated with FIRST, and we're so proud to partner with Dean on this new journey called Eco Center. These little kiosks that you see, each one will have a small slingshot unit, much lighter now, as Dean said, his technology being applied. And we've created this new concept together called Eco Center. And believe it or not, this is an important fact for all of you to remember. 50% of the hospital beds in the world today are occupied by people because they lack access to clean, sterile water. 50%. So 2 billion people live with those conditions all around the world every single day. Young girls lose time all day carrying water, often contaminated water, from villages far away to their own community. So when this unit gets put into those towns and units, producing 1,000 liters now with the technology of clean, sterile, vaccine-grade water per day, using solar power or biomass power, because most of those towns and villages do not have electricity. And then we have great partners like Qualcomm that are doing the connection with us, so all those kiosks are going to be having Wi-Fi. So it's a place where people can get clean water. Each one of those kiosks are going to be operated by a woman entrepreneur, creating empowerment for women and young girls. And in the process, creating better, more sustainable communities, so that those communities could also one day be represented. Young kids, young students from those communities can be represented in a first where there are teams not from 69, but from 206 countries. Thank you so much.
And if there was ever a simpler or truer statement than the man that needs no introduction, especially here at First, Will. We said it this morning. Come on out.
Hey, guys. Hi. So, you know, last week I was going over my schedule, and my schedule is kind of crazy. Just to give you a hint, like 2 weeks ago, I flew from London to Barcelona. March 15th is my birthday. So my birthday, I flew to Barcelona to work with this guy named Bieber. Then from the 16th, I flew to Los Angeles. Then on the 19th, I flew to Japan. Then on the 24th, I flew to Korea and flew back to LA to go to San Diego, to go back to LA, to go back to London, to come back to LA, to fly to New York, to go to New Jersey, to go to Atlanta, to go to Dallas, to go back to LA, to go back to London, to back here, and now I'm here in St. Louis. So I did all that traveling since March 15th. It's a lot of flying. And when we were doing my schedule for the next couple of weeks, they said, we noticed that you have to be in St. Louis. I don't think you should do that. I'm like, what are you talking about? They said, well, your schedule's hectic. We got to start shaving some of the things off the schedule so you could do certain things. I said, okay, I don't care what you shave. You can shave my eyebrows, you can shave my hair. But you're not shaving that St. Louis trip because I have to go to First. And so they said, what's so important about that? I said, man, you don't know. Here's why. He said, but it's like a science fair. I was like, nah, it's not a science fair. You don't get it. This isn't just a science fair, and you guys know it. This is a community. It's a movement. And somewhere in all you guys, there's a couple of you guys that are going to invent tomorrow's medical equipment. A lot of you guys are going to solve tomorrow's diseases. A lot of you guys are going to... That was a nice sneeze. Right when I said diseases, she was like, hot shit. That's a performance. A lot of you guys are going to create tomorrow's transportation, fix tomorrow's energy problems. The world's going to be totally different 2025. But one of you guys, a lot of you guys are going to be the ones that make the world wonderful in 2025. It's going to be 9 billion people on the planet 2025. How do you feed them? How do you feed us? How do you shelter us? How do you protect us from, Mother Nature? More importantly, how do you protect us from human nature? It's going to be you guys. That's why U.S. first is important. And U.S. first, whether it's Mexico first, London first, global first. All the people that want to be scientists and technicians and engineers and mathematicians. You guys are not just competing against other firsts around the world. Today, we're also competing against technology. When Dean invited me to go speak at the Royal Academy of Engineering with him, I was afraid. I'm like, what? You want me to go with you there? And I realized that technology is something that we're all going to be competing with in the future. Because that phone in your pocket 10, 15 years from now, it's going to be pretty intelligent. So if we're not educating the youth now, that means 20 years from now, this thing in my pocket that I call a phone, it's going to be just as intelligent, more intelligent than my 7-year-old niece today. Now, that may be funny and sci-fi, but actually that's sci-fact and kind of scary and sad, actually. So that's why FIRST, to me, is the most important movement community on the planet. And not only do I want... there's science fairs, but you can't put a science fair in the neighborhood school that I grew up in. But you could put a FIRST program in Roosevelt High School and Hollenbach Junior High School. But just having U.S. FIRST in the high school that my mom went to or I should have went to isn't enough in the grand scheme of things. I think one day we should just have a FIRST school. Project-based learning. It's not in the school, but FIRST is a school itself. That's what I think would be the most dopest, freshest thing ever. And so that's the reason why I wanted to come, just so I could get inspired by you guys, sponge up you guys. There's a sponge head, cheese head. What's up, guys? Speaking of sponge. I just want to be around you guys and hang out, collaborate one day. I remember when I was 17, even earlier, when I was 13, I wanted to do music. There was a community of other musicians that I wanted to be like. If I was 13 today, I would want to be in this community. If I was 17 today, I would want to be just like you guys. That's the reason why I want to go back to school now and learn computer science, because you guys inspire me. There's a lot of kids that want to be like athletes. That's dope. That's cool. They want to be musicians. That's dope. That's cool. I love you too. I hope that wasn't a guy like, I'm gonna freak him out right now. I love you, Will. But music, the concept of music changes 20 years from now? When I'm 58 years old, music is going to change. You're going to have some bracelet on your arm, and the music's going to play you. Every single person's going to be a composer to compose to your genome. That's all going to change. What the hell you need a freaking band now when you just got an armband? All that's going to change. And I want to be a part of that conversation. I want to be a part of that community that brings that to culture. You know, if you think of athletes and musicians and actors and designers and models, there's a new thing happening right now, and that's makers. The maker is about to surface, right? Just like you could point to, you know, a Kanye West or a Philip Stark or an Edison when the inventor was the thing to be. The maker is going to be the thing to be in the next couple of years when we all have printable machines. When you guys are not just competing with you guys, but you guys are making things that compete with Panasonic, Sony, and all the other consumer electronics. When everybody has access to make things based on your discipline education, that is an exciting world. And I applaud you guys for disciplining yourself and being true leaders when we live in a culture where kids don't want to be this. You guys are the agents of change that are going to create a whole new society where we make things out of materials that we make things out of sustainable materials, and everybody is conscious of the things they put in our minds and our bodies, and it's all about community building. It's you folks. And thank you guys for being you guys, because you inspire me to be a better me. Thank you, Dean, for inviting me here to your little community, your little world. Thanks.
And now we're going to move forward to some of the dopest, freshest students we have. Back to the 2013 Dean's List Award winners. Now, today's winners will be joining the 30 students who have already won the Dean's List Award, as well as the 2,500 students who were nominated as Dean's List nominees and Dean's List finalists in the last 3 years. Many former Dean's List Award winners are here with us today, so let's give them and all the Dean's List finalists a big round of applause. That's for all you do and all you're going to do. This year we have over 800 students nominated by their teams for the Dean's List. And of the 800 Dean's List nominees, 126 students were identified as Dean's List finalists at the regional competitions, the Michigan and the Mid-Atlantic State Championships. To all the Dean's List nominees and the finalists, congratulations again, and thanks for all your efforts. So, the Dean's List swag is getting pretty sweet year after year, isn't it? Just seems to grow. We filled the room. To honor the winners, Dean and his family have created a trophy for the Dean's List students, which is based upon the first logo, which Dean's father designed, as many of you know. But along with that, here's some of the loot. All Dean's List finalists will receive a Nike Brasilia duffel bag, and you're going to need it. A first commemorative Dean's List teddy bear. Some white chocolate, courtesy of Lindt. A first logo wall clock to keep you on time. Creo 2.0 parametric 3D software, courtesy of PTC. Some dope headphones, courtesy of Monster and Knoll. And for next year's game, which is, which glows in the dark, a first logo-lighted measuring tape. Okay, in addition to that loot, the 10 lucky 2013 Dean's List winners will also receive, just came out 3 days ago, it'll be autographed, Will.i.am's new CD. a $100 gift card from JCPenney. You'll finally get to keep a Frisbee from this year's game, and it'll be signed by Dean. A $50 Amazon.com gift card, courtesy of the Bezos Foundation. The Bezos Foundation is also throwing in a Kindle Fire. And because we want to spread the love and, you know, it's all about the team, in appreciation of the efforts of the team in submitting the nomination, a $1,000 credit towards the team's registration for the next season. Raising the bar. Also, way cool, Parrot AR drone quadricopter controlled by iPod, iPhone, iPad, and Android, courtesy of the United States Air Force. That's too much. We shouldn't know more. Keep going? Okay. Here we go. Microsoft Surface Pro 64G tablets with Windows 8, courtesies of Microsoft. You asked for it. Motorola Hello Moto Bluetooth. And new this year, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It'll be the best 30 minutes of your life. It's a 30-minute career consultation with a member of the First Executive Advisory Board. We call that the EAB, which is comprised of leaders in the science, education, technology, and entertainment fields who commit their time, energy, and resources to assist the FIRST leadership in promoting and expanding the FIRST mission around the globe. And this year, you get Dr. Woody Flowers. He's been selected as the delegate for the winners. The value on that one says priceless. You also get a special backpack with sunglasses from the United States Air Force, $50 gift card to Starbucks. Thank your friends at PTC for that one. Round trip airfare anywhere in the USA, courtesy of Southwest. Don't bring these to the competitions, but you'll get a Meade Green laser pointer, courtesy of the United States Air Force. And you also get the big one. That's an all-expenses-paid trip for the student and their chaperone to the Dean's List Summit in Manchester, June 27th and 28th. It includes a tour of MIT, FIRST, DECA, as well as an opportunity to meet and connect with contributors to the 2013 Kit Apart suppliers at the Supplier Summit at Dean's House. So thank you to all the sponsors for all that great swag, that loot. It is amazing. So here's something that's important. Write this down on your arm. It will be available in room 113 outside the entrance of the pits between 9:30 and 10:30 for pickup tomorrow, okay? Room 113 between 9:30 and 10:30 tomorrow morning. So now it's time to meet the 10 Dean's List students who, for 2013, should come up onto this stage, shake hands, stay up here, and we'll get a collective photo. Are you ready? Yeah. We're ready. This student was nominated, won the award at the Greater Toronto East Regional. She's in 11th grade. Please welcome from Team 4476, Kaylee Bibick. From the Central Valley Regional, grade 11, team 4159, Ofri Harlem. From the Pittsburgh Regional, from team 3504, Naoka Gunawadena. From Michigan, team 2834, Kristen Law. Also from Michigan, an 11th grader, team 3547, Catherine Height. And rounding out our top 10 from the Autodesk Oregon Regional, team 2093, Christina Landon. Congratulations to all the winners, all the nominees. Make sure you keep nominating those students. Every year it gets better and better. Thanks for coming, everybody. Enjoy the competition.